Welcome to Section 3, the cycles of the moon and the feminine cycles. I've always felt a deep connection between my female cycle and the moon cycle, though I haven't always honored it. Most of the time, I bleed now during the new moon and ovulate during the full moon. Sometimes, though, due to an eclipse or extra stress in my life, it can become disrupted, and then it'll do the reverse. Once I was awakened to the mysteries of why some women bleed on the full moon and some women on the new moon, a whole new world opened up to me. Have you ever wondered how it is that our universal calendars have 29 to 30 days in them? Some say the first one was based on a woman's fertility and her cycle, and that wasn't changed when the patriarchal systems took over. Charting our ovulation and then bleeding time is an empowering way of taking ownership of our bodies and our rhythms. According to Miranda Gray, author of Red Moon, Understanding and Using the Creative, Sexual, and Spiritual Gifts of the Menstrual Cycle, there are two traditional menstruation patterns: white moon bleeding, or menstruating with the new moon, and ovulating with the full moon. And then there's the red moon menstruation, which is bleeding with the full moon and becoming fertile with the new moon. Your period will attune to both cycles over the course of your life, but it's fascinating to know what's going on in your life energetically as your body cycles. White moon. If your body follows a white moon cycle, you'll tend to bleed during the new or waning moon. Since biodynamics have shown that the earth is the most fertile during full moons, when you ovulate, this cycle is most traditionally linked to fertility and to motherhood. If you are a white moon woman, you'll likely feel a surge in your intuition during your period, and you'll feel the urge to withdraw for nourishment and self-renewal. In other words, you're tapped out energetically, and you've given this month your all. Red moon. This cycle follows the full moon, meaning that your body bleeds during the waxing or the full moon, and it's the most fertile during the new or waning moon. Because full moon and waxing moon phase energies are outgoing, vibrant, and creative, some feel this is counterintuitive to menstruation, but that's not so. In ancient times, the red moon cycle was associated with shamanism, high priestesses, and healers. Women who tend to menstruate with the full moon are said to focus their darker and more creative menstrual energies outward rather than inward in order to nourish and teach others from their own experiences. Many times, women with this cycle will be more focused on self-growth, development, mentorship, and creativity. I know when I am in my creating mode, not in terms of having a child, but more of a project or creative endeavor, I will be more apt to be in my red moon cycle. One way that I like to give back to the earth is to nourish my plants with the menstruation blood. I've heard it said that if all the women restored the earth with their sacred blood, there will be no more bloodshed or violence on our planet. A woman's menstruation blood is so powerful for our planet and the plants. The menstruation blood contains 3 primary plant macronutrients. Those are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Specifically, nitrogen helps boost plants' overall luster and growth. For cycles that vary and change, that means that those women are in the flow of shifts and able to assimilate to various elements. For myself, if my cycle becomes irregular, I begin to look into what is out of harmony in my life. Maybe it's too much travel or too much work or just simply too much yang energy that I'm emitting. I need to then turn inward and begin to add more feminine softness to my daily routine. But a note for women who've stopped bleeding: you can still have the deepest of connections with the lunar cycles and even become more connected to your womb after menstruation. Your cycle may even return, and you can continue to have these cycles without bleeding. My cycle disappeared a few years ago when I was undergoing intense stress and heartache. But with consistent practice, monthly rituals, and paying attention to the subtleties, my cycle came back and began to sync up with the moon. Those months without it was my time to realize how important my connection is to the earth, the moon, and the sun. The cycles between the moon and the feminine are so deeply connected. My wish is that you develop a deeper connection with yourself, your cycle, and the moon. Because once you feel a deeper connection to those things, you'll be able to help this planet even more so.
I'm no